Hi, I'm Coach Joseph Correa, and today we're going to talk about how to choose a tennis racket. Sometimes it can be very frustrating because you don't know what racket to actually use, but you have to try to find a racket that's the best fit for you. How do we do that? Well, there's rackets that are heavier, there's rackets that are lighter. When you're starting as a beginner, or if your kids are starting out, you want to make sure that you start with a light racket. Okay? There are rackets. What's a light racket? So usually anything below 300 grams would be considered a light racket. 280, 287, 265, those are ideal racket weights when you're just starting out, because what you want to do is you don't want to strain your arm because you're learning the right technique, so you don't want to hurt yourself. When it comes to more advanced players, you do want to have a racket that either gives you more spin, more power, or that's a little bit more solid, that can take hard shots and you can hit them right back with the same power. So let's go over some rackets and let's see exactly what that would look like. So for example, this is a Head Pro Radical racket, and the Head Pro is a little bit heavier, it's a little bit stiffer. It's great for serving, so it depends on your game. If you're more focused on having a stronger serve and keeping the ball nice and low and fast and having good volleys, this is a great racket, because the ball will do exactly that. You'll get a lot of first serves and you'll be able to hit good, low, solid shots. When it comes to spin, you would try a different racket that has maybe a little bit more spin, like possibly either an Aero Pro or an Aero Pro Plus from Babolat. And this racket has a lot of spin. Nadal is a big fan of this racket. He's used it for many years. Carlos Alcaraz as well, he uses a different version, but it's still a Babolat, and they have a lot of spin. Now, these rackets, sometimes the sweet spot is a little bit different. On some rackets, the sweet spot might be a little bit higher or lower. For some other rackets, the sweet spot might be in a different range. It might not be like the size of a ball. It might be more like a straight line, which I found in some of these Babolat rackets. It's more of a straight line. When you hit it on the sides, you lose a lot of the power. But if you're able to find that sweet spot in the center strip, you get a lot of power and you get good spin on the ball. Now, something else that you want to take into account for some of these Babolat rackets, some are better for serves than others, and some are better for volleys than others. This one is a really good racket for ground strokes, very, very good racket for the forehand. Okay, so if you want to have a good forehand, I highly suggest this racket. Now, another Babolat racket that you can try out is the Babolat Drive, or the Drive Plus, the Pure Drive or Pure Drive Plus. Now, this racket has a lot of power. It's very good for serve. The only thing is, even though it has a lot of spin, the ball, to be able to hit the ball nice and straight and flat, this is not the racket for that. It goes with spin and it goes very fast. So if you're looking for a racket that can go fast, that can keep the ball moving with a lot of spin, then this is a great option as well. The Aero Pro Plus racket back here is good for ground strokes. It gives them a little bit extra power, but for serving, the Babolat Drive Plus is an excellent racket for serving. As you probably remember Andy Roddick, he used to serve at one of the highest speeds in the world, simply because he had, I think, one of the best rackets to do the same as well. He had a great service motion, very good throwing motion, a lot of power in his legs, but the racket helps a lot as well. Next, we have the Yonex E-Zone 98. There's many different rackets that you can try out, but I'm just giving you a few examples. For the E-Zone 98, this is a great racket for one-handed backhands. So if you have a one-handed backhand, you're gonna notice all of a sudden you have a very consistent impact on the ball, and you can keep the ball in play much longer. This racket has great spin. I really like this racket. Just try to keep the tension a little bit lower, or else when it's too tight, the ball simply won't take that same spin that you could get from a racket with this potential. Now, when it comes to the forehand isn't as powerful as it might be with some of the other rackets. And for the serve, it also has a good whipping action. It's a little bit of a catapult action where it bends and comes forward, so you'll get good spin on the ball as well. The slice is pretty consistent too, and the volleys have a really good feel. Now, if you want a racket that bends a little bit less and is a little bit sturdier, but still from Yonex, then you can switch over to the Yonex 100. The Yonex 100 is a little bit stiffer, so you get a little bit of a faster shot. Still good for one-handed backhand, great for the forehand. It's a very fast racket, so I like it for when I play against fast players. It's a great racket. Now, there are other racket brands and other rackets that you can also try out. I highly suggest you demo rackets, which basically means you're gonna go to the store and you're gonna ask them if you're gonna try them out. They have rackets where they let you borrow those rackets. You leave your credit card on hand, so you're not necessarily taking it for free. And then once you try those rackets out, you can see which ones you like the most. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And if you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up so that other people can also check out this video. Thank you.